you need to call, do what you need to do. Ain't nothing happening. No money, no beers, no partying, no sections, nothing. Young man.
He's very passionate.
Yeah, and he has some tumultuous times. But the Lord ain't through with him yet.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, and he get better every day and learn from his mistakes the same way.
The Harris empire just got rocked by a viral leak too explosive to ignore. One blurry clip, whispers of extortion, and suddenly King Harris is in the middle of a storm that dragged his girlfriend, his parents, and the family legacy into the spotlight. T.I. didn't stay silent, he clashed with his own son, and the fallout is pure chaos. Is this damage control or dynasty collapse?
And another thing, I'm a free man. Stop, goddamn, I'm not locked up. I'm straight. I was, but I'm back, I'm straight.
Stick around, the chaos started with a single clip, blurry, grainy, and yet explosive enough to light up the internet like gasoline on a flame. King Harris, son of rap legend T.I. and Tiny, suddenly found himself at the center of a scandal too salacious for the Harris empire to spin away. The video allegedly showed King in an intimate moment with a so-called DL partner, and within hours, the footage traveled faster than wildfire through social media timelines. The most shocking part? It wasn't just random trolls who saw it. According to insiders, the clip landed directly in the lap of T.I.E. Tiny, and even King's girlfriend, Big Nana.
I don't post. Y'all ain't never seen me post never in life. I don't even own a that say you be around Tootie a lot, you gonna be taking some licks. Ooh shit. I'm not that guy.
And if you thought Nana was going to smile and shrug this one off, think again. The tension nearly imploded their relationship on the spot. For T.I., a man who has always played the role of protector and enforcer, this was more than just a family embarrassment. It was a PR grenade tossed straight into the middle of his carefully cultivated image. Suddenly, the rapper who built his brand on dominance and control was watching his son's personal life unravel in real time. Fans and critics immediately split into camps. Some saw King as a victim of betrayal, others painted him as reckless and naive. And at the center of it all was a father who had no idea how to control this narrative. Because how do you family hustle your way out of a scandal that puts the whole dynasty on trial? The viral fallout wasn't just about exposure, it was about legacy, and the Harris family's grip on theirs was already slipping.
And bruh, being silent, silence is key, bro. Just shut the fuck up. And I've been getting better at it. It's hard for me sometimes. I fail, and I get to talking. And but that ain't the. I've realized that silence is always the better answer.
King Harris didn't just stumble into controversy. He was raised in the cracks of it. Behind the glossy cameras of family hustle, the Harris household always looked like a polished portrait of black excellence. The big house, the music legacy, the perfect parents balancing careers and kids. But King has said it himself. That picture wasn't reality. Instead of cozy family dinners or heart-to-hearts with dad, King spent most of his formative years with his grandmother. And while she kept him grounded, it also reinforced the idea that his own parents were more invested in their image than his emotional well-being. Fans who followed the family show picked up on it too, often pointing out how King looked overshadowed by his siblings, like Zonique, who was building her own music career. The disconnect brewed resentment. As King grew older, the gap between father and son widened, leaving space for rebellion, risky choices, and questionable friendships.
This should show everybody, when it comes to me and the internet, they're gonna always lie on me. Why? Because I'm really him in real life. So they try to put the image out there that I'm not really him. But the reality.
Now, when the leaked footage surfaced, it wasn't just a scandal, it was the loudest alarm bell yet. To King, the betrayal wasn't just about the tape, it was about feeling like he could never bring his truth to the people who mattered most. To T.I., it was a humiliation layered on top of a bigger fear, proof that maybe he had failed to connect with his son at all. That's the tragedy buried beneath the headlines. This wasn't just a viral moment, it was a generational wound ripping wide open for the world to dissect. Before we dive into this family firestorm, hit subscribe, because every time this drama takes a new turn, you'll want the receipts first, not hours later from a gossip page. The ugliest twist in this story? The source of the leak. According to whispers from insiders, the scandal didn't emerge from a random hacker or some anonymous troll. It came from King's alleged ex-partner. Someone he trusted, someone who was reportedly close enough to know his vulnerabilities, turned around and sold him out. Extortion claims followed, with reports suggesting that this so-called ex tried to blackmail King and the family before finally letting the footage loose online.
King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
Period. No, that's not the goal.
All right, then.
Or
Man, go.
in your ear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got some in the neighborhood with me that broke up with roach in your ear. Y'all want to go to the bando in my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? Listen, do y'all want to go to
For T.I. and Tiny, this wasn't just a violation of privacy, it was a full-on betrayal that struck at their son's most intimate life choices. Tiny, always cast as the softer parent, was reportedly devastated, at a loss for how to comfort her child while facing the cold reality of public scrutiny. T.I., meanwhile, moved like a man preparing for war. He allegedly hired a private investigator to track the leak, pushing to involve law enforcement once extortion became part of the narrative. To him, this wasn't just an embarrassing scandal, it was an attack. And like any general, he wanted to crush the enemy. But while the legal wheels turned, King was left in a mess of emotions, exposed, humiliated, and unsure who to trust next. The betrayal cut deeper than any meme or headline. It confirmed his worst fear, that even the people closest to him could turn into opportunistic vultures the moment they smelled money. And for the Harris family, the fallout proved that fame doesn't just make you visible, it makes you vulnerable.
Nothing. Call who you need to call, do what you need to do. Ain't nothing happening. No money, no beers, no partying, no sections, nothing.
If there's one thing T.I. is known for, it's his mouth. Sharp, unfiltered, and always ready to put someone in their place. But when the scandal dropped, his fury wasn't aimed at the internet trolls or the gossip blogs, it was squarely locked on King. Insiders claim heated arguments erupted between father and son, with T.I. storming into conversations about legacy, reputation, and even prison. He reportedly warned King that his behavior, from reckless choices to public outbursts, was paving the way for disaster, with no amount of celebrity privilege to shield him. And this wasn't just fatherly advice. T.I. allegedly told those close to him that he recognized the same energy in King that once had him caught up in the streets, the kind of energy that leads to cuffs and courtrooms. But here's the twist. While T.I. raged,
like my nigga, I don't have no gang. I ain't in no gang. I got family. I got motherfuckers who willing to risk their lives and freedom to die by me and mine. You hear me?
King clapped back. He accused his father of caring more about his public image than his son's actual struggles. He threw shots at his parents' absence during his upbringing, calling them out for prioritizing TV appearances and tours over real connection. For King, the fight wasn't about the tape. It was about years of feeling unheard. And for T.I., the fury wasn't just about the scandal. It was about the terrifying idea that his son might spiral down the same destructive path he once walked. The clash wasn't just father versus son. It was past versus present, pride versus pain, and the whole world got front row seats. If King's scandal lit the match, T.I. and Tiny's parenting styles poured gasoline on the fire. Behind closed doors, sources say the two clashed hard over how to handle the leak. Tiny wanted transparency. She believed King should take control of the narrative, that in a world moving toward acceptance, owning the story could shift it from humiliation to empowerment. T.I., however, wasn't having it. For a man who built his brand in hip-hop, an industry notorious for toxic masculinity, the thought of his son's private life being dissected was a nightmare. He pushed for silence, damage control, and a total lockdown on the subject. What started as a parenting disagreement quickly revealed deeper fractures in their marriage. Tiny accused T.I. of obsessing over public perception, while T.I. snapped back that Tiny was being naive about how ruthless the world really is. Stuck in the middle, King became the battleground. One parent urging him toward authenticity, the other forcing him to prioritize reputation. The parental divide turned a private scandal into a philosophical war about parenting, masculinity, and the price of fame. And as their voices grew louder, so did the cracks in the Harris dynasty's glossy facade. Suddenly, Family Hustle looked less like a TV show and more like a survival game, with no clear winner in sight. Pause real quick. Whose side are you on in this father versus son showdown? Comment Team King if you think he deserves to own his story, or Team T.I. if you think a father's got to protect his legacy at all costs.
So I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to to torture you the way that you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
The internet did what it always does. It picked sides and passed judgment like a courtroom with no rules. Some fans praised T.I. for going full protector mode, applauding him for hiring investigators and shutting down anyone trying to exploit his son. To them, it was proof that T.I. wasn't just a rapper. He was a father, fighting to shield his child from vultures, but others weren't impressed. Critics dragged T.I. for being controlling, pointing to his past controversies, like the infamous Hyman check comments about his daughter, as evidence of a pattern.
You not gonna get that from me. You just not. You ain't gonna never get that from me. You can go and catch 1,000 bodies. You still gonna be my son. I ain't finna treat you like, you know, hardened criminal. I don't give a damn what you go out there and do. So you just gonna have to. You just gonna have to. That's what you gonna get from me. So it's just a mutual understanding that he understand not to really expect that type of a response from me.
To them, this wasn't about love. It was about image management. Younger fans especially sided with King, arguing that he deserved support, not judgment. They saw the scandal as symbolic of a generational divide. Older parents stuck on reputation, younger kids desperate for acceptance and authenticity, memes flew, think pieces multiplied, and the Harris family became the center of a larger cultural debate about parenting, masculinity, and what it means to own your truth. What the world couldn't decide was this: should King step up and reclaim his story? Or should T.I. be applauded for shielding him from a society that chews up vulnerabilities for breakfast? Either way, the public verdict was clear. This family drama was no longer theirs alone. It belonged to the culture. So what do you think? Can the Harris family survive this storm? Or is this the crack that finally breaks the dynasty? Drop your take below, smash that like button, and subscribe, because the next chapter in this saga might be even messier than this one.